Today's topic it's an interesting one. It's a bit left field. It's a bit rogue, and I think if you're based in the UK or the US or wherever, I think it might be unlikely to have heard too much in depth about this particular story. But it is that of AC Monza in Italy's Serie B, and I suppose most people will be familiar with Monza as being the city home to Italy's F1 circuit. Its location is obviously in northern Italy. It's very close to Milan, and I think sort of doing the background for this pod, I found that most people in Monza would support either one of Inter or AC Milan. So it's an interesting story that they've come up through the leagues, backed by the funds of ex-Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi and Adriano Galliani, who acquired the club in 2018. And essentially have bankrolled it since. But they have an aim, two aging patriarchs of Italian culture, trying to leave their mark on another club, as they did over the 30 years that they were with Milan. Monza are an interesting one. I think you'll agree, Alex, because they've never played in Serie A, and yet currently I think they're third in Serie B. They were promoted last season. They look very, I don't want to say odds on, but they look competitive enough that they may be able to go up in Serie B. And I think it will be an incredible story, the rise that they've gone through.
Yeah, so they were only promoted into Serie C back, I think, in 2017. And I found a stat that they've played the most seasons in Serie B of any club without achieving promotion, which is 39. So they've really kind of bobbed around the second tier quite a lot. And
I think very Millwall of them, isn't it?
Yes, it is a little bit. And I think you're right. They do very much exist in the shadow of two kind of behemoth clubs that have both enjoyed really significant periods of success historically, and obviously AC Milan are doing particularly well this season too, and are a very interesting story themselves. But it's there's always, I guess, the opportunity when it's not just about money, is it? What Berlusconi, but also particularly Galliani brings is credibility. It's experience. Mm-hmm. They have been there and done it. And Galliani's relationship with Monza goes back a long way. He started his career there. So I think you could regard this as a vanity project. You could regard it as another opportunity for Berlusconi, who's recently, I think, been re-elected to the European Parliament as an MEP, to kind of energize his political career once more. But the sense that I get, and Rory Smith did a piece in the New York Times to this effect, is that, a lot of it is, yes, Berlusconi likes being the guy in the limelight, and he likes, kind of being influential and wielding power, and that is part of it. But also, particularly for Galliani, this is an emotional project. He's going back to the club where it all started for him, but with this, backstory of experience and success with AC Milan. And let's not forget what they did with AC Milan. They didn't just transform that club. They transformed the landscape of European football and Italian football. They brought that coterie of Dutch players in. They were the guys that took a chance on Arrigo Sacchi, who's one of the most influential Italian coaches ever. So yeah, Monza are an interesting story.